All right, how's it going, everyone? My name is Don SR, and today we are here for a run that is very special to me, for reasons we'll get into after I actually start the run. So, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so this run is very important to me for a lot of reasons. The big elephant in the room, obviously, is that it's the 21. I think that one is pretty obvious. 2 years ago, I decided to go for the 21, nearly to the day. In November of 2021, wow, that is forever ago, I got top 5 in this game for the first time, and ever since then, I have not lost it. I have been either 4th place or 5th place or whatever. I have been in that same area, you know? And ever since then, I decided, hey, I'm going to go play other categories. I'm going to chill for a little bit because, wow, in a year I went from not even playing the game to top 5 in the main category, the most popular category, at least, whatever. And so when I got that run, it was a 22-24, and I said, when I come back, I'm going for 21. Now, obviously, that was almost 2.5 years ago. It's been a while. So, what happened? Well, in January of 2022, like I said, about 2 years ago, I got a massive, massive PB. This PB was like a huge overperformance for me at the time, and honestly, I was really surprised about it. So 22-13, and I took literally years to catch up to it. Obviously, I'm not talking too much about the CE right now, but I'll make one comment on this. I always used to get bad CEs, and here we are back to that again. Awesome. Like, that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is, you know? So, it happens. 122 CE, not the end of the world, but I'm not happy about it. I mean, that leaves at least 4 seconds on the table. Back to story time. It took me a long time to get a PB. It took me nearly a year to beat that PB. And I had to improve my ILs a lot just to have the chance. And the RNG in my runs had gradually gotten worse and worse to the point where it was one of the worst in the top 20. Which is crazy because I'm also like a decently good Knuckles player. Like, you could say I'm like a top 10 Hero Story Knuckles player, definitely. So the fact that that happened to me was really unfortunate. This set, obviously being pretty good. I play it pretty well, know exactly what to do. Get a sub 2 despite the start, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, I really had to fight back, and although the start of this run doesn't really show like that improvement, funny enough, of course, the run that's the run that I'm really happy about is going to be the one where I don't necessarily perform as well. I will say the combined Sonic is just as good as my previous run, which at the time of doing it is still 3rd place on the top 20. Which I'm really happy about because there's a lot of really great Sonic players. Really, Hero Story is about Sonic, right? And so the fact of the matter that I am able to get one of the best Sonic times consistently makes me really happy because in the past, Sonic was a weak spot for me. And in this run, there's a couple splits I'm not necessarily happy about, but the rest of them, I really have no complaints about. Prison Lane, I will say the tails in this run isn't as clean as I would like. It's solid. There's one split that goes bad. But see, I don't go for the rail hop here, which is unfortunate. Like, for some reason I wasn't really feeling that then and there. And that's okay. But most runs I do go for that. But this time I decided not to, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, decent times here so far in Prison Lane. But, yeah, my thoughts are a little scattered. But I am very happy to have gotten this run finally. even if it isn't the perfect run. You know, that's the thing about this game, is it's basically impossible to get the perfect run. I mean, with all of the RNG and how many hard execution stages there are, it is just kind of what it is. And ultimately, one of the parts of this run that I am the most happy about are the part that you're probably going to have to wait another 10-20 minutes for, and we'll get there when we get there. Yeah, so there's a couple big mishaps in this. One, not going for rail hop is, you know, it's one of my main strats, so I would say it is sort of a big time loss. Plus, not locking onto that guy before was unfortunate, and it leaves me with a pretty sad time for me personally. 133 I used to be really happy with, but these days I definitely expect better of myself, right? So, unfortunate. Heading into Metal Harbor, this is kind of a funny stage because I've been practicing a lot of Loop Easy, which means that I've been playing the stage quite a bit, just by virtue of practicing a trick within the stage. You like to IL and see what the full time you can get. I was having a lot of trouble. I was super inconsistent with this stage since I've come back, since I didn't really practice it too much, because before it was just really easy to get nice times. Here I get an 1855, very solid. Doesn't get too much better than that with story style strats, or at least the strats I go for. I will not be going for Loop Easy, spoiler. This run is good enough to not even really think about it, at least yet. I don't really have that level of consistency. But yeah, like, honestly, this Metal Harbor just goes very solid. I think that's probably the worst thing in this whole IL, is that birthday gap. I did not cut it anywhere near as much as I should have. But I mean, like a high 51, low 52 spring there. Usually it's about 26 seconds to the end of the stage, so that's going to be like a 118. Kind of depends on how you play your loop skip, though. So, it's going to vary for person to person. And I play it insanely safe here. I definitely could have gotten like a low 118 if I pushed that harder. But yeah, I mean, mid 118, I'm definitely not complaining, especially on a pace that's decent already. I think here, you can see me looking at the splits. I was talking like, oh man, like, there's like 2 terrible ILs in this, but it's still almost a sub 5. Kind of crazy. And yeah, it is kind of crazy. Because, like, pretty much every split could be better outside of, I don't know. Metal Harbor, I'm very happy with the 118. So, that's, like, the only one I have pretty much no complaints about. This is a split I'm actually kind of sad about because... Wait, I just realized I have a 12 in my PV. Dude, this is a problem. I always get 1129s, but for whatever reason, I seem to just get like 12. One of my PBs had a 14, but like you see instantly, I get the high jump there, man. Like, come on. So I end up with a 12 again, apparently. So, I mean, at this point, that's almost a 13. So, I guess that's just going to be some nice time save, I guess. But yeah, so really anything sub 520 into Green Forest is good enough, especially when you look at my gold there, a one that I got recently, a 111. When you have the capability to bust something like that out, if you get a sub 120 and you end up getting even like a 113, you're on a really nice pace into Pumpkin Hill, and with a good set there, you can guarantee yourself some nice stuff. I will say, again, I guess a bit of a spoiler, pretty good pause reset also, just gotta mention that. I'm not necessarily too happy with how this stage went. I mean, it's fine, you know? Like, it's alright. Yeah, that was unfortunate. But yeah, just because, like, I know right now that I can get anywhere from, like, a 111 to a 114 somewhat consistently, it kind of feels bad when I get, like, above a 115 right now. So this split will definitely have some time save on it, which is nice. I'm talking like you, like the listener, knows what the time is, but we'll see. I do believe, yeah, I go for the check here, which I haven't been doing a lot recently. For For whatever reason, I guess I just wasn't feeling fully in it. And wow, like, I almost just hit the floor there. I do go for the skewed grab. Pretty solid, pretty clean. 101 check. Definitely good enough in a run. Oh, that was so slow. Oh my gosh, I definitely lost a second or two there. Wow. Yeah, I forgot how bad that was. Decent Air Jordan. I just hold the A button for too long. So yeah, low 117. Again, I can save a few seconds here, so I'm not super happy with it. But it's certainly good enough to get a run going. Ideally, you want sub 630 out of Green Forest, but anything sub 640 is still 21 possible, for sure. With just reasonable RNG, it's 21 possible. And I will say, this is probably one of the best Pumpkin Hill times I've gotten in a run, maybe ever. It's like probably top 5. This set is extremely good. And if you've been paying attention, the Wild Canyon RNG was also extremely good. So Sleep with the Dead is like usually not a good piece. But Ghost P1s like to make piece 2s that are supposed to be bad a lot better. And here I'm like, please be the one on church. Please be the one on church. And it pings. And I'm like, hold on, man. A 29 in a run? Are you freaking kidding me? This 29 just puts us in such good position because we were already at a nice pace. Yeah, I mean, this is just incredible, right? Like, we are basically at the point now where we're going to enter Aquatic Mine at worst, like 707. Which means that if we get a nice Aquatic Mine set, or, sorry, not 707, 907 I meant. I only did the math on one of the parts. If we enter it at 907, say we get like a 25, like I would say is pretty realistic to expect. Like that is basically my average in my Aquatic Mine times 20 PB. That puts us at like a 932, which is giga 21 pace. That puts me with like so much wiggle room. I don't even need that good of a second half to get a 21 at that point. So I am super happy to see this pace. Anything with a 90X, you're like, wow, yeah, this is definitely 21 pace. You know, obviously I just have to hit the cycle. We've gotten the weight. We hit the cycle right after the weight. And it's looking pretty good. Get the rail hop. So far, this is just a very clean mission street. I mean, not too much to complain about. Gonna hit the jump. And I've been messing this part up on the ramp a little bit. I think I know what my problem is. It's still relatively fast, but the fact that we lost all of our speed is unfortunate. But I mean, I just have so much time to make it. I don't even have to pause over still, even with the couple little things that happened. And we got 6 cycle. I really also love this ADX, by the way. How it like kind of pops off when you hit 0 cycle. It just works so well. I don't think I will ever change that. Makes me happy permanently. Alright, so we're heading into the last stage of the first half. For 21 pace, I'm usually looking for a 945. If I can get a 945 or better, I am definitely on 21 pace, because adding Route 101 in puts you around 12 minutes, right? Which means that you need a sub 10 second half, which you still have to play well, but as long as you get a good second half, it is very reasonable to get a 21. And so, yeah, like I said, 907 ended up being in 908, which is still good. Say I got like a 22 or something here, and I am at like a 930 exit. It is probably the best run I've ever had. And again, like I could get even less. In theory, I could get a 12, and then I would just be terrified. But we get a strong green ping. No free pieces, and honestly with this piece 1, I'm not super happy with it if I don't get a free piece. Like, genuinely, I considered resetting, but I knew it would be stupid to do. But yeah, 0 free pieces at all. Made me really sad, and I'm like, okay, well, this is probably just gonna be fine. And then I'm like, oh, I have to go back up top. And, you know, I'm really happy with how I did the movement in this. Like, this is all really solid. But geez, a 36 right now is really not what I needed. Although I am still on 21 pace somehow, even after a 36. And that 36 basically just evened out the RNG for the run. I would say it's still slightly above average, but not by much anymore. Where before it was on like very good, probably combined next world record pace. Like if I got a low 20 in that aquatic mine, it would be something like just barely over a minute, right? So, I mean, it was on a really good pace, and then that happened. But, if you notice, the threshold that I said was a 945 out of Aquatic Mine. You'll notice I'm still 944 even after that bad set, which is why you love to see the 90X entrance into Aquatic Mine, because it really doesn't matter if you get a bad set, it's still going to be a takeable run. So, it just feels good to get a time like that. Also, I've had people make fun of me for this. I know I suck at the drifting. Like, if you watch, I don't know if it's something wrong with my thumb, but I just can't go straight left. I think I just need to hold my controller differently, but it is kind of funny to watch, especially for me. Because, like, when you go right, I'm just perfectly right, but then on the left, it's like up left for some reason. And I think I have to compensate for that, which is kind of hilarious. But at this point, I've just gotten so used to it that, like, whatever. I feel like it would be harder to go back now. But I wonder if it makes me lose time. That's something I'd have to look into. I'm sure it does make things a bit harder for me to control. But it's probably not that big a deal. I can still get 213s, so I still get like a 214 every run. But yeah, ring route going real solid. Not really paying attention to the count here, but I mean, I know I get the boost, so I don't really need to, I guess. I think we get the boost on this trail. Yeah, love to see that. Whenever that car is not in the way, or you're able to snag the couple rings you need. So shout out to Geek. I don't know if I did that right, but I think I did. Okay, so I hit the car. It's fine. Like, it's fine just taking that line, especially if you have a boost. You just hold on to it and then use it right after you hit the car. And again, like I said, sub 12 into second half. All this means is I need to get a sub 10 second half, or even a 10 flat would work. And obviously, if you're watching this video, you know I get a 21, so I do it. I'm gonna get like a 10 flat and some change, I believe. So, yeah. I had just a good enough second half to actually clutch it out, which is pretty awesome to me. Yeah, entering second half, the hardest part of the run. Desert. Desert is by far the hardest part of the run. And let me say, it does not start out well. I needed to just curve in sooner, I think, there. I think I would have had it. But yeah, so this was all just terrible. Like, I have already burned, like, 3 seconds in pause. 3 seconds in pause, and I'm now going for GC skip. So, like, oh boy, and I have to go around there too. I just wasn't sure. Man, hidden base, this hidden base is hurting me to watch back. But I will say from here out, it's clean, I promise. I'm pretty sure I make, like, minimum mistakes from there. But, like, the fact of the matter is that, like, you know, we're already, like, 3 to 4 seconds in burned time and pauses, so even if I do play like a god from here, it doesn't really matter. Man, I am moving so weird, but it's like still working out, you know? Such an interesting thing. Alright. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with how clean this was after the start. I mean, if I just hit that pause hover, that first one, man, it would have been much better. But there's just so many problems that happen at the beginning. The one thing I will say, the fact that I failed to pull hop twice, went for GC, and then had to go around the slow way. A 144 is really nice. I'm actually happy about that. My movement's gotten so much better. There's no way I would have been able to get a time like that before. Because I lost at least 2 seconds on the pull hop attempts. And GC loses like 3 to 4 seconds, I think. Maybe 3? I don't know how much. But still, I mean, I think that movement after like the very beginning was like definitely like 138 tier, which is nice. Alright, Pyramid Cave. So at this point, I'm like, man, this run was really good, but now I have like a 150 hidden base, so I'm like, you know what? And I think I even said this out loud. I'm like, Pyramid Cave, what a fun stage. And I was just kind of dialed in here. I was like, you know what? Let's play. I'm excited to play Pyramid Cave. Let's show what I got, because I know I'm sick. I feel like I'm still hitting the buttons well, even though things aren't necessarily going my way. If there's a time to turn on the gas, it's now, right? Like, ooh, man. That section almost went poorly. But yeah, I knew that I had to turn it on now if this run was going to become anything, right? And we get a 46 hourglass, which is pretty solid. You know, I can definitely do better, but I'm happy with that. So we take those. And this ends up leading to a 58 check, which slightly slow second tunnel. I mean, it's fine. It's nothing I'm going to complain about, like a 12-second tunnel. There's probably like 11 and some change, right? Maybe even just 12, but still pretty solid. Yeah, this is on pace for like probably a 124, but I play this a little safe at the end here because I just, with that angle, I was not feeling confident with. So yeah, I take the 125. Pretty nice. Probably one of the ILs I'm the most happy with in this run. 125 Pyramid Cave on pace is very nice. And I believe this is the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go chill and deafen. And honestly, usually when I deafen, it makes things worse, but I think it like did a great job calming my mind. And honestly, I felt just so dialed in. Like there was ice in my veins during the speedrun. Alright, we got Angry Manch, and we did sort of the Katie strat where you dodge getting rings at all. So now, after I kill Angry Man, I can instantly death strat without having to wait for the invulnerability frames to run out from the first hit. And I get a 17-second death, which is really nice. Rode into Shining, but I wasn't sure because it almost seemed like I got like the 1-frame ping. I was pretty confident it was, but I was like, you know what, like there's no harm in checking a hint because this one will just be ready. Connect the dots, man. This is rough too because I end up getting like a weird camera angle here, so I had to like fix my angle and react sort of in real time. When usually I just hold forward to clip out. I didn't want to go and have to reset the camera because it would have taken forever and I would have lost a lot of time for it. So I YOLO'd an angle that I usually never use and it worked out. At this point, I'm like, you know, I am technically ahead of PB, but like, it's still rough, you know? Like, I know that this PB has a really good space, and so I want to be more ahead than this. Into the desert bosses because there's really not much time save for me in these bosses. Like maybe a second in Egg Golem, maybe a second in King Boom Boo if I play really well in both. But like, you know, basically being on this pace means that I have to play really well in space. And so I'm like, okay, you know, I get cat boost with the bait. So I'm probably going to save a little bit of time here because I don't think I got the bait in PB. And I'm really pushing these hits because recently I've kind of been waiting until, you know, he stops blinking, as KD4 says, but for most of those hits I was just straight up timing and sending it. And so we save like, you know, a couple tenths. Definitely not enough. Loading into Egg Golem, I'm feeling really confident about this boss. I've been practicing it today. Been feeling nice. Gonna go for the classic Profit Bounces strat, where I reset and then wait a little bit in the cutscene, so that he will hit to the left here, which is way faster, because it's gonna send Sonic back to this same platform, and Egg Golem doesn't have to turn. And so I get some nice quick setups on the Profit Bounces. Not perfect, but definitely good enough. And I get the first hit, and I'm going for the last hit here, and I slip. I should have bailed, man. And unfortunately, this means that I'm going to lose like 6 or 7 seconds for it. And with the restart, it ends up being a 33 Egg Golem. So, yeah, I lose 5 seconds. And at this point, I'm like, well, this run's probably dead. Like, I know I have the time save here in Eternal Engine, but that is really all the time save there is, outside of, like, OBT, and maybe a little bit if I get awesome RNG. But now I'm fully reliant on hitting the Quan, getting good RNG, and at the minimum, playing really well for the rest of the run. So I was like, you know, I mean, I'm not even really stressed at this point, because it would require me playing, like, really well. And I hit the Quan. Wow, look at that. Went back to my old strat of pausing, and I think it's really good, personally. I actually really like it, the way that I do the pauses. I've seen other people, notably Ethmar was who I originally got the idea to pause from, but he does it quite a bit differently. So I kind of adapted it in my own way, but I do really like it. So I drop down a little bit here, and I do the micro adjustment. The reason you do the micro adjustment is because every little movement here out of bounds is going to affect your trajectory a lot, because it influences the camera. So now when you hold down, it's going to take you in a more direct path to the goal ring. I actually I corrected back because I thought I did it too much. And that ended up being a good call, because I ended up really close to the goal ring. And I ended up getting a 120. So, you know, not perfect. I definitely messed up my angle. And that was the reason I lost a bit of time. Plus not dropping that far. So, that definitely could have been better. But at this point I'm realizing, okay, I at the minimum need to match my space here. And keep in mind, for my best possible time, fast FR is in these splits. So if I want to go for regular FR skip, that's 10 seconds time loss on my best possible time. Maybe more like 9, but still. Shortcut rocket. At this point, I'm like, if I get the IL set, I will lose my mind. But it's on the left side, so I know that that can't happen. At this point, I do my checks. Dig into a small meteorite. I don't hit the spring. Awesome, because this is faster to just move this way, instead of being locked into the spring for a while. Grab the piece, hit the spring. Go to check for tip at the top of the arc, because I didn't exactly do the check. And I check this. Try digging while watching the moon, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This is good enough. I got a 35, and I actually saved time. Oh my gosh. This is possible. And I take a look at the rest of my splits. And remember that, yes, I don't have, like, any time save. The only real time save is, like, maybe a second in FR. And at best, 3 in CG. I would have to play to gold, but I could save 3 seconds in CG. And I'm just doing the math. I'm sitting here doing the math, and I'm like, if I play really well, I could 21 without OBT. And then I remember, hey, you're not even at the point where you make that decision yet, but let's go hard in CG so that we have a chance. Because I've lost so many runs to OBT. I don't want to have to rely on it to get my 21. And I know that I am capable of getting the times that I need. If I play to golds, even with that 10 seconds in best possible time, you can consider that best possible time 21:58 right now. Or maybe even 21:57, right? I know that I have a couple seconds within my sum of best to play with. So I'm going to run with it. And I decide to just go balls to the wall in CG. And yes, I do free cam box hover, so my gold is not that good compared to some other runners. But a 44 is nice with free cam box hover, considering it loses a second or two. So far going well. I got an 11 glass break. Go ahead with the spin dash. Accidentally land on the rail, loses me a little bit of time, unfortunately, because I don't really know how to do that super well. And I rip CGSS. In flawless form, I make it out. Incredible stuff. I was really proud of that. Now, I decide to do something risky, and I don't even bounce, because guess what? I need the time save. And I make it just barely. By Sonic's little toes. And I'm now looking at the timer, and I'm thinking, 31 seconds for the bosses, 119, that puts me at like 50, basically. That puts me at 51, which basically leaves me with just no time. Like, it means that I am on the edge of this time right now. So I'm like, okay, let's focus on this split right now, and we'll see where it is after this. Because it's a little bit easier to calculate without Eggman 2 in the picture. I get a good one. So now I'm looking at this, and I'm going, okay, I definitely need a sub 120. To be safe, I need a 118. And a strat that has repeatedly owned me for years at this point. It's made me lose runs. It's made me lose that little bit of time when I was ahead like this. The rail switch right here at the beginning. And I'm so scared doing this. My hands are shaking. And I nail it. Now, I do lose a little bit of time here. Wait. Oh no, honestly I think the rails were kind of fine. Alright, I jump off for regular FR skip. I know based off of the time here that this can be a 118. It might be a high 118, it might be a low 119. But it's going to save that little bit of time on this split. And really, that's all I need. Because I'm -4. And as you can see, I have 2204.11. So if I save a few tenths here, even, it's going to be a big deal. Because I just need a PB by 4 seconds and a few tenths, right? And that's enough. Also, because of when I jumped off the rail, I aim pretty far right here. Which ends up being good. But at this point, I am shaking. I am like uncontrollable, heart beating out of my chest. I'm trying to take this time to recover and chill. Also, I'm glad I did go far to the right, because otherwise I probably would have hit the kill plane. Slowly curve in, realize I have enough height. There is one split remaining. Only one more thing left to do. And that's bring it home. I save 4 tenths. I'm doing the math here. As long as I get a 17 or better, even a low 17, I can get a 21. I just need to play a Queen Shadow 2. And this goal that I've wanted for 2 years is in my grasp. And I appreciate all of you for watching. I'm gonna let me take it away.
Game over, Shadow.
I fucking did it. I got a 21. It's been 2 fucking years. Probably almost to the day.
Sonic, I did it.
I actually don't believe it, man. I'm not gonna scream it because it's so late. But I am the manifestation of the fighting spirit. I have been waiting to say those words. I'm gonna kill Hoffen VC. Oh my god. Dude, I fucking did it.
You might be so bricked up.
Let's
go!
I fucking did it.
Yo, good
What the
fucking shit.
fuck?
Man.
Dude, how clutch is this? Like,
I
this is a
know.
1712 into space.
And you did it.
Oh my god.
GG, dude.
I
Dude, it
literally
finally
like
happened. It
Dude,
finally
you got a 44 CG.
I
That was
know,
so
dude.
good.
And I knew I had to get a 118 CE to guarantee it, or
Yeah,
FR, and I went for the
FR.
rail switch and I was clenching. I was like shaking, but I did it.
Dude, I couldn't tell because like you did go for the rail switch, and I was like looking at it, and I was like, did he lose time on the rails on the like after though?
I definitely did. Yeah.
That's why I was
Yeah.
like, Trader was like, this is 118 pace, and I was like, bro, I don't know, because I'm not used to like looking at the paces for like off the rail and stuff. So that's why I was like, after because Trader said you needed a 118 as well, so I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Dude. Oh my god. This is the most clutch end game of my life. Oh my
That
god.
is awesome.
dude,
Congrats.
I'm bricked up for you right now, man. That's crazy.
Out of fucking 21, guys. Isn't that insane? It doesn't
It
feel
is.
real. Oh
Look
my
at that,
God.
you're 4th place, just like that.
Dude, I've only been 4th or 5th place for like 2 years. Fuck this. I want 3rd.
Well, 10 more seconds to go.
All right, bro, load
Trader.
it back up.
I finally bopped you, man. Holy shit. This is the
Yeah,
first
you
time
did.
ever. And I'm only a
All
second
right.
ahead of you.
All right. No, you're 2 seconds. 2
Am
seconds. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
22:01.
Okay. 2 seconds. Not even close. I was so worried it was going to be a 22 flat, man. Dude, what do I
I
do? Do I
know.
post this? Or, like, I don't know what to do. Because, like, I can't even stream it and do, like, a VOD review.
I mean, you could.
It's just going to be
could just-
0 bit rate.
I wouldn't hold on to it, bro. I
Yeah,
just
I'm gonna
fucking
rip
tell
Yeah, I
people.
would wait. I would wait. Wait till.
No, I'm saying not
gonna,
to hold
I'm
on
gonna
to
rip
it.
man. I'm gonna rip it. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not gonna feel as good to rip it later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, I couldn't yell it like I told Mikey I would, but I whispered, I am the manifestation of the fighting spirit.
Oh,
Like I said
that's
I
why
would
we were
in
deaf in so
2021.
long.
I said I would do that shit 2
Yeah.
years ago.
I remember that.
I was like,
I remember.
when you didn't undeafen, I was like, bro's probably sitting there in awe, which is probably fair, or like hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Good shit, dude. Really good run. Mr. 21 over here, bro. Hey,
What
yo.
the fuck, man?
Now it's our turn, M.
Yes, please join
That's
me.
true.
Oh my god.
I'll play Jack and Daxter again. No, I'm kidding.
Dude.
Mhm.
Oh, it's also so cold in here because we blasted the AC. Dude, I'm so glad I decided to do a run. Like, I should be
Yeah.
asleep right now, but I did it. Dude.
Isn't it
Fuck
crazy?
yeah.
You got that goal. And now what are you gonna do?
Dude, I don't know. I'm free. Like, this is
Yeah.
legit the perfect timing because, like, today I was like, I'm gonna do my last full SA2 stream, and you know, like, then I'll go and start working on other games, and like, I didn't get the chance to do many runs today, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do one tonight.
Hell yeah.
Dude, why
Go.
is it always like some combination of you three in the call? Always. Trader M Taco. Some combination of you guys are always here.
Dude, the amount of
Bro.
times that it's been this voice call, and I've seen one of you guys on like 21 pace in
I
late
know.
game. It's happened like 10 times, I swear.
Oh god. And it's this run with that hidden base.
Oh my god, like a 158 hidden base. Fuck. That's so sad. Oh.
No, that's awesome. Now you get to immortalize your 21 with having something like that. You're like, this is better than your best time previously. And it has that.
Man, my Sonic
So,
was actually pretty good outside of C. And GF
was.
was kind of whatever.
all right, so you're saying
No, it was just straight up good.
21 4X is so free. It's time.
Dude, Loki.
it's
Dude,
time.
I mean, like, I don't know, maybe mental barrier's broken now.
Yeah.
It doesn't
When
feel
I
real. I'm
saw-
looking at it and it doesn't feel real.
Hell yeah.
Actually, I do
I-
think that the mental barrier thing is real because now, like 21,
Yeah.
it's not even like you achieved it. That
It's
was
just a
the thing,
PE
right?
now, you know.
Yeah, it is just a. I mean, it is. Don't think about it like that quite yet, but you know what I mean. It's just like
Well, no,
you,
I mean,
you hit the
Well,
time.
I mean,
I'm saying like from now on, when I'm on pace, it's just a PB. It's
Yeah.
not the 21, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not as glorious, but it's still gonna be like it'll be an even better time. So in a way, it is just as glorious, but like you already got the first one. So
Dude. I love that it's a 2159. We were talking about this literally earlier. We were just like, oh yeah, I hope it's a huge one. And I was like, mine's not gonna be. It's a fucking 2159, dude.
It's the most 21 you could ever have.
For real.